Hey, how's it going, everyone? Joshua Six of Tabletop doing another video for Warlord Games Epic Battles Black Powder, and this is the Waterloo campaign. What I have before you today is some French cavalry. In fact, they're French Hussars, classified as light cavalry in the Epic Battles game. So I just want to talk a little bit about the painting process, talk about kind of review how Warlord Games brought across the Hussar for us in this game system, and yeah, just talk and look at some of the models that I painted for one of the most iconic cavalry units in all the Napoleonic era. I think Hussars, just based on their dress and everything that they had going for them, just one of the more popular units, and I'll just say I'm happy with how Warlord presented these for us in this kit. So let's jump in. Alright, so first and foremost, these would be found on the light cavalry sprue. Now this sprue would be included in the large army starter sets, but also purchased in the light cavalry portions that you can purchase. And the other light cavalry that would come with it's the Hussars that come in this kit, be the Chasseurs à cheval, and it would be the line lancers for the French. So I'll throw up a little shot of that sprue. I covered that sprue a little bit when I talked about the lancers, but there's nothing too poignant, I guess, to point out. Other than the fact that everything kind of is as it is. The only cuts or changes that you would need to make right here is that the guy carrying the banner here, you would need to remove the sword that he traditionally carries. It'd be like the captain's one right here. You would remove it, and then the sprue has a standard. So it's up to you whether you want to carry standards into battle with your light cavalry units or not. But that is included, so you can glue those on. So let's take a look at kind of what they provided for us historically, I guess, and then kind of see if that meets our needs as wargamers, or at least my needs. I'll speak for myself. So I did the first squadron of the 5th Hussar Regiment. Now, I do not believe that they actually had active fighting in the Battle of Waterloo, but they were in the Army of the North. And I really liked the scheme, the blues, so the blue and the white and the red, I just thought that looks super cool. So yes, they had the, you could probably see this a little bit here, they have the blue dolman, that's like the, I guess, quote, as like the inside jacket that they have. You can see that's lined with the gold trim, and the outside jacket, as you can see on the back here, this is like off-white gray, called the police, with like black fur on here. I mean, it's definitely very distinctive because it gives the Hussar, that like Hussar jacket that, if you're familiar with the period or just like have looked at art of kind of what makes Hussars popular and famous and notable amongst wargamers and historians and such, it's that they were dressed extremely well and looking rather flamboyant and sharp across the battlefield, and that police jacket definitely set them apart. So so I painted those white. Interesting to note that, as you can see here, a carbine is included, as they were light cavalry, so they'd be primarily used for skirmishing, but honestly more than that, for scouting, for trying to see positions of the enemy, and even trying to run down and catch fleeing or basically enemy units that have routed. So I like what Warlord did here. These commanders are used across, I think, other cavalry kits as well. So they have the shakos that were included. These appear to be wrapped. I painted, so the red ones were for the first squadron. sorry, like the first elite companies of the first squadron. And so, yep, they have the red hats, and I feel like that like blends almost perfectly. So they have these red palms with like a little white dot on them. That's just from online research. It could be wrong, but I enjoy how they look, and so yep, quite pleased with those. Quite pleased with the models. They still have some of the similar issues of just the cavalry sprue. As you can see, the reins. It's just how it's printed, but the reins are rather chunky. So from the vertical view, it's not quite as pleasing to the eye, I guess. But most of the time, you'd be looking at them from the side view, and I feel like they turned out quite well. Other addition they have for this squadron, I believe it's, let's see if I can get to focus, the white horse could be commonly used for the trumpeter. I don't actually have one attached to him, but he had a different police. That is green, so I included that to show that, yeah, the guy with the bugle or the trumpet would be used. And of course we have the flag that I opted in to use. So overall, very happy with this kit. Happy with how Warlord Games implemented Hussars within this game system. There weren't too many that fought for the French during the 100 Days campaign, but they definitely fit the image of what I would like a Hussar to be in this game. They got their curved saber, so everything's represented really well. I think the kit is fairly good in terms of black powder rules. I'm not as familiar with them anymore, but I'm assuming that they would fulfill that light cavalry rule. I know that they have the Marauder rule, which allows them to act a little bit more independently, as was typical of Hussars as well. So that's what I got for the French Hussars. In retrospect, I think painting-wise, they turned out great. I think I did make them perhaps maybe a little bit more dirty with the enamel wash than I probably needed to. But all in all, happy with that. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you get some more units reviewed and kind of talk about how they are brought into the Epic game system. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you feel like Hussars are represented well, or if they did a good job with the Epic system as well. I'd like to probably at some point try to paint up some Young Guard, and I think that would look pretty cool. But until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.